And gentlemen, this is Javier with The Real Javier Novoa, a channel, a platform, and a modality where we apply the principles of philosophy, spirituality, mysticism, and relaxation to rapid lifestyle transformation. And today, ladies and gentlemen, continuing on in the series of the Whoop and the Wharf, of strategic planning, of strategically putting together a plan to get to where you want to be in the time frame that you want to get there. But it's going to be counterintuitive, ladies and gentlemen, because what we learn from planning from the world and what we learn about planning from the normal orthodox sources would have you believe that it's some kind of racking of your brains. It's some kind of active pursuit of the path. But we know from the philosophy that we study, from Neville Goddard, from Abraham Hicks, and from all of the greats, that the path is already implied in the destination. Therefore, if you can just go to the destination and you go there in a feeling manner, and you go there in what we call context, which is actually putting yourself in the surroundings that you would be in were you where you wanted to be, or as Neville Goddard said, were you the man that you wanted to be? And then the how will unfold in that. But it's an active participation in that unfoldment of the how, to the extent that it feels good and to the extent that you feel your hands in the clay. That is the purpose of this strategic planning process. In fact, this strategic planning process is a path. It is not the path. It is not the only path, but it is a path, because they're all existing infinite possibilities, so to speak, of paths. But the way to get to that path is going to be the way that suits your personality and temperament. I hope you understand me here just a little bit. The personality of the people that watch our channel is the kind of personality that wants hands in the clay, that wants to be in the arena, and so we are providing a framework for you to have it all, for you to be in the arena, and for you to allow, for you to go through these cycles of active pursuit and then backing off and allowing. It's like fishing, ladies and gentlemen. It's like hunting. It's like the game. So we have a big video for you in regards to that, ladies and gentlemen, in regards to still the early steps in this process, which of course it's not linear. So you may go to step 3 and then come back to step 1 if we can number these steps, and we indeed might. But take it all loosely and don't try to intellectualize it. But before we go into this, I would like to invite you, if you have not already, please subscribe to the channel. Because not only will you be joining a community of master manifestors, you'll be getting alerts to all of our videos, of which we make several long-form videos weekly discussing these topics of how to apply philosophy, spirituality, mysticism, and business to rapid lifestyle transformation. But you'll also be helping us get the word out. I think this is a message that's very prescient. It's a message whose time has come. So please do take some time to subscribe. Hit the subscribe button and join our community and help us out. Thank you so much for subscribing. So it's Monday, ladies and gentlemen. We've made it through it. And like we say every week, if you follow the principles and you follow the roadmap, yes, the literal roadmap that I'm providing you, you will be free from a job and a boss, or you will be free from being imprisoned by your own business, having to be a constant 24-hour servant to that within 6 months to a year. It all depends upon you. It all depends upon your readiness. It depends upon your acuity of focus. But we give you the tools here. And you will very soon be looking forward to Monday, ladies and gentlemen, not congratulating yourselves that it's over when you get there. But congratulations, it is Tuesday and we're going strong. I just wanted to start the week out going a little bit more deeply into step 1 And as we know, there being no duality, this is the entire process, ladies and gentlemen. This presence is going to permeate the entire process. It's going to be this attitude. It's going to be this state of mind that you take that's going to make this process of strategic planning work, and work the way that you want it to work as a sharpened tool for rapid lifestyle transformation. So, waiting, ladies and gentlemen. Eckhart Tolle calls it metaphysical waiting. It's the waiting of the wise virgins of the Bible. If you haven't read the story of the wise virgins, you can read over that again, but it's some virgins who waited upon the bridegroom, and the ones that actually waited with their lamps going, they had enough oil in their lamps, which means they had enough consciousness to wait. They did catch a glimpse of the bridegroom, and so on and so forth. Also, there's a passage in the Psalms that talks about waiting upon the Lord. This is the waiting that punctuates the entire process of strategic planning, and it is not a waiting of despair. Rather, it is a waiting of presence, and it's a waiting of abiding. And perhaps abiding is a better word. For you see, if you've chosen an objective that's going to actually be fun, that's going to stretch you, and that's an objective that you really have no idea how you're going to attain, this is the fun of implementing these tools when you implement it to an objective that you have no idea how you're going to attain it. The early steps of the process of strategic planning are going to be just that. They're going to be just sitting, and they're going to be trying to find an entree, or trying to find a handle or a crevice that you can hold on to and sort of get a handhold or get a foothold onto your problem, onto your objective. I hope you understand me just a little bit. You're just trying to find a way to enter into your objective. But you have no idea the entree point because you don't have a map. If you had a map, it would be no fun. I hope you see this. Do you see it? We came into this life to generate problems, if you wish to call them that, and then to transcend problems and to grow in the process. But the growth is not your job. The growth is going to occur of its own accord. What your job is to stay present and to maintain that vibrational acuity of joy and of the higher vibrations so that you can actually enjoy the journey and, ironically, get there a lot quicker. And again, if you don't understand us, that's fine. This is part of this process. Don't try to understand me intellectually. It's best if you watch these sorts of videos, especially the videos where we go deeply into metaphysical concepts like waiting and so on and so forth, like observing, like abiding. It's best that you go into these completely present and not even taking notes, not trying to understand it intellectually. Videos coming up this week, you will want to be taking notes because I'm going to be giving you a lot of nitty-gritty, immediately applicable principles for the strategic process. And you'll want to write those down, so on and so forth, but you also want to exert a good measure of contemplation and of abiding in that as well. But this video, just relax and sit back. You can watch it a few times as well so that you can it can make its imprint into your subconscious, but don't try to necessarily intellectually understand it. So, you're sitting there in the beginning phases of your plan. You don't have a plan because you have no idea how to get there. You have a few ideas, and by the way, the ideas that you have of getting there, write those down, but don't yet try to take action on those. It's like Abraham Hicks talks about. You don't take action on something until you feel such a strong inspiration to do it that wild horses could not keep you from doing it. We're acting here by inspiration because the objective that you've chosen, ostensibly and hopefully, it can work for the others. But the best way to do this is there's no exterior force or deadline that's saying that you have to accomplish this. and that you have to accomplish it within a certain period of time. Of course, you can set that own deadline, and I'd recommend you not call it a deadline. You can call it something like a growth line or a lifeline. But this thing is a pure desire as it can be, and it's not something that you feel that you have to accomplish. For if you feel that you have to accomplish it, you're already giving it importance, and that's going to work against you in the manifestational areas. Of course, there's a way to do this as well, and that's by diminishing the importance. And we'll go into all of this as well. But hopefully the thing that you've chosen is something that only you know about. You haven't told others about it, because remember, when you tell others about it, that also dilutes the vibrational acuity of your focus, and they can talk you out of it, by the way. So don't tell others about this yet, till it starts developing. What you want to do is sit and rest. And then what I want you to do is contemplate just the general tenets of what we go over in this channel then. Anything that you create up here must and shall eventually manifest into your reality, and there's nothing that you have to do. It's so easy, ladies and gentlemen. And especially in the early parts of this planning process, I just want you to relax and embrace the ease. In fact, the time that you set aside, which is very important that you set aside some time every single day, 30 minutes to 2 hours if you can, and more if you can. If you could take days off to do this, do it. And you want to tell those around you that you're studying, that you're working, and that's very important. But then go, and you have to approach it like you're just giving yourself a break or a vacation. So you can sit in your war room, so to speak. You can sit at your desk, and you can just think about these. You can say, thank you that there's nothing that I have to do. It's already being done. It's unfolding as we speak, and there's nothing I have to do except just sit here and be receptive. Be a receptacle. And then think about the general tenets of this. What I create in my skull shall come about, and is coming about. And in fact, it doesn't even matter what's going on this film roll, because I already exist in the other film roll. In fact, I am it, so therefore I can go right away to that film roll. And then you can just let yourself go and daydream down that film roll. And this is where it dovetails in the actual intentional mental rehearsal. Because you can say, okay, I want this business. I have no idea how to get it. I want to open, let's say, a string of gas stations. So I am now in the middle of that successful business of a string of gas stations. And now I'm just daydreaming. Okay, what do I see? You're not doing an imaginal act right now. You're not doing specific exercise focus, which is coming down the pipeline. All you're doing is daydreaming now, and you're receiving any images or any sounds or any thoughts or any focus that comes. And there's no force in it, and there's no importance in it. In fact, Abraham Hicks talks about this, that an imagined image or a visualization that you receive is many times more powerful than one that you conjure. All you need to do is set the objective in the back of your mind, and then just sit down and start receiving those images, those pictures. Now I'm just in that film roll, I'm just swimming in this, and I'm just daydreaming, and I'm imagining these images and these pictures. And I'm not trying to do anything with it now. I'm not trying to make anything happen, because I'm already on this film roll. And the more you focus on that film roll, the more you illuminate that film roll, the more you daydream, the quicker this is going to unfold for you. And this is not simply something that I've pulled out of the ether, although I've practiced it a lot, and a lot of these principles have been received by inspiration. But if you just read the lives of the great men of science, of the great men of business, of the great people like Emerson and Edison, they all had times that they set aside to go out into nature or to be alone in their study, and they would just receive. They would just daydream, and many of them described it to a greater or lesser extent. Any strategist whether it be in the historic military campaigns, whether it be in politics, whether it be writers, they all have a version of this daydreaming and a version of this pointless sitting down and staring at the wall. I remember one psychiatrist said, I was reading, he said that everyone should just sit down and stare at the wall for 30 minutes. Well, let this strategic planning process in the beginning be you're just sitting down and staring at the wall. And I promise you, ladies and gentlemen, this is going to crystallize into a very specific process that you're going to be able to tangibly see, and it's going to give you steps. At least the first step in front of you is going to be given, and you're going to know that it's that. And then once you start getting that physical step, then there's some very practical guidelines, some very practical tools that you can use to start to develop that, to implement that immediately, not waiting, not allowing your conscious mind to come and screw it up and to talk you out of it. And we're going to be going into that coming up this week. But just for now, this may take a few hours. This may take a few days. This may take a few weeks. Enjoy it, because there's no rush whatsoever. Because, first of all, on this film roll, you're not going to get anything sooner than it takes naturally. So if something naturally is going to take 2 years, it's going to take 2 years on this film roll. Now, when you move to another film roll, you can have that much sooner, but immediately. But the trick is not struggling against it on this film roll. And I remember, again, we revert to the great Stephen Pressfield, the great author. He said that the way I look at things is if something's probably going to take 2 years, it's going to take 2 years. So I'm not even thinking about that. If it's going to take 2 years, then I have a lot of opportunities to just go into the rabbit hole, so to speak, of what I want to explore. And a lot of times it's a lot sooner. And a lot of times his allowing himself to go there into those rabbit holes takes him in a new direction that he had not even thought of, and allows him to create masterpieces. This is the way of creation, ladies and gentlemen. And it's going to be hard for a lot of you, especially with university educations who have been trained in the left brain. This is the new paradigm of allowing the right brain. But to do it, you have to be in complete security. You have to be in complete presence, and you have to be in complete acceptance. That's why we try to go into alpha. We tell ourselves that we already have that which we need and that which we want. And we abide as if we already have everything, and then just allow yourself to take that journey. It's the journey of the right brain. It's the journey of reception. It's the journey of daydreaming. And these are the first steps on the path of strategic planning in rapid lifestyle transformation. So, ladies and gentlemen, I want you to do this. I want you to set aside time to do this. And I want you to leave your testimonials in the comments. You can also email me, and we will put my email in the description. And I look forward to hearing the comments on this. So, ladies and gentlemen, I am doing coaching calls. I will put my email in the description. I will take you hand in hand personally through these modalities, and we will accomplish more in weeks than many people accomplish in years. Again, please subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching the videos. Thanks for sharing. Thanks for commenting. And most of all, thank you for coming with me on this journey. So until very soon, until tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen, this is Javier with great love and appreciation. I'll see you soon. Keep daydreaming.